Why did I say that? Why do I always mess my relationships up? You keep going through a cycle. You want relationships, but you keep doing things that run them off. But here's what you don't realize. Your body wasn't reacting to them. It was reacting to what you've already been through. The trauma, the hurt, the pain. So now what looks like an overreaction is actually your nervous system going into protective mode. You trying to protect yourself from feeling the pain that you felt back there. He's not them. He's not that. If you had a father, right? I'll say this. It's your nervous system. It's protecting you, or it's attempting to protect you. Because if you had a father who was inconsistent, in and out of your life, emotionally unavailable, whether a father or a mother, but I'm going to use a father right now, or just not there the way he needed to be, your mind learned something very early on, right? And I'm going to get left if I don't try to fix this, or I don't try to make this work. Your mind learns something like, I can't fully relax in love. Your mind learns something like, I have to watch for signs. So now when someone you care about, that you really want to be in relationship, text different, acts inconsistent, acts distant, or feels slightly off, you don't just notice it, you feel it. And that's when the panic kicks in. And it's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. You begin to shut down. You detach. You start protecting yourself, or you start trying to control the situation because you don't want them to leave. It's like putting your hand on this knob, right? This is what you're doing. I want the door closed, but no, don't close it. But don't close it. Don't close it. That's what you're doing unconsciously. You don't recognize it. You don't recognize that. And again, these things that's kicking up the panic, the trauma from old things back there, you don't recognize it. It's not always loud to you. You don't recognize that push and pull. You shut down. You detach. You start trying to protect yourself in ways that you don't need to. Or you start trying to control the situation, the relationship. You start asking questions for no reason. You start reading into every single thing as if there's something there. You know how they say, well, if you go looking for something, you'll find it. You start preparing yourself for worst case scenarios, because if you don't catch this, you're going to keep calling in intuition when it's actually fear. You call it intuition, and it's not. It's fear. It's your fear of being vulnerable with them, telling them the truth about the trauma, the neglect, the abandonment you felt in your childhood. And that's why you keep going through relationship after relationship after relationship, because you keep looking for the signs of what your father did to you back there. So instead of asking, why do I keep ending up with men like this? You ask yourself, what did that moment make me feel? And where have I felt that before? Because that feeling, that's key. It's key to you having a successful relationship. Being vulnerable. And if you're in a relationship right now, you're going to have to learn how to say, hey, I realize certain things trigger me, and it's connected to my past, not just you. And I want to be vulnerable with you because I want you to know when I react a certain way, when I say a certain thing, or when I do a certain thing, it has nothing to do with you. It's coming from something that I experienced in the past, and I haven't fully healed with that yet. Okay? That conversation might feel uncomfortable to you, but that's where real connection starts. And that's where having a real relationship, a sustainable relationship, is going to happen for you. I want you to know this. You don't overreact. You just responded from a place that never felt safe for you. You are going to continue to have broken relationships that you keep calling overreacting. It's not overreacting. It's trauma showing up that you haven't healed that you won't address. If you have been dealing with this, you are ready to actually break free from that pattern. Not just understand it, but break free so that you get the ring. You get wiped. You get wiped up. But you got to acknowledge that first, because again, you keep saying I'm overreacting, it's just me. No, you're making excuses for your behavior. That's not where you need to stay. You didn't overreact. You're not overreacting. You're panicking because you're afraid that what you saw your father do back there, the abandonment, walking away from you and your mom, walking away from you, your mom and your sibling, all the things, the overreacting, you're so afraid that this relationship is going to do that. So you try to guard your heart, so to speak, or what you do is look for every little thing. He texts a certain way today, but maybe next week he's texts another way. You looking for worst case scenarios. You're looking for things. You're not overreacting. You didn't overreact. You're panicking. And I want to help you deal with that. I want you to drop down in the comments if you recognize that your relationships keep ending, but you haven't dealt with that. I want you to know this. This is why. This is why you got to face reality, or you're going to keep going on the hamster's wheel of relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship until you deal with the underlying, the underbelly of why you're panicking. They are not your father who did that to you. They don't even know what happened in your child because you haven't been vulnerable enough to tell them. When are you going to start there? When? So start with you first and saying, acknowledging that it's not overreacting, it's panic. Panic from the fear that they may walk away and abandon you like the father. So you guard yourself and you keep doing the push, pull, push, pull. Men ain't gonna stay with that. They're not. Stop. Let me help you deal with that. I want you to drop down in the comments. If this resonates with you and you see those patterns with you, or you want to heal, I just want you to drop down in the comment, healing. You're not going to have a successful relationship if you keep panicking and doing the things that you're doing by trying to find things that are not there. That man loves you, but he will walk away. Because a man is not going to stay with that if you're not vulnerable enough to tell him the trauma, the hurt, the pain that you felt, and why you do the things that you do. Communication. Stop panicking. Get real. Open up.